Devotees and friends, again we will be listening the conversation between the Guru Vasishtha and Sri Ramchandra. And before that, let us begin with this mantra. Digaladi Anavachinna Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye Swanubhuti Ekamanaya Nama Shantaya Tejase. I salute the Supreme Brahman, the one who is beyond all qualities, who is tranquil and beyond all limitations, who is the embodiment of infinite consciousness, can be known only through one's own experience. That experience of the Supreme Brahman is the ultimate goal of human life. And the moment we can understand that experience we can get, then we go beyond the circle of miseries, sufferings. So that is the ultimate thing. The God has created us, and God is the embodiment of joy, peace, happiness, bliss. And when we go back to the root, we are supposed to get that. But what is the problem? Problem is our attachment. Problem, we are constantly thinking this world as permanent. And therefore, the Guru Vasishtha is teaching his disciple Sri Ramchandra. But the problem again, shall we not work? Shall we go and sit somewhere in the seclusion, in a cave, and just pass the life and die without doing any work? As because this world is illusory? Or immediately after the birth, shall we commit suicide or ask people to kill us? What should be the life? So this is a very tricky condition. What should we do? Here today we are going to know the answers of all these. The last week, we concluded with a question that Sri Ramachandra asked his Guru Vasishtha. The Guru was going on telling this ultimate truth that this world is illusory. And you have to eradicate, you have to completely kill your ego. Don't keep your ego. So that was the question. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also in the modern times, he said, Ami mole ghuchibe janjal. That's a beautiful Bengali. He said, when I die, this not this I, that the ego, when I die that, then all the problems are solved. Janjal means problems. All the problems will be solved when there is the ego. Now the war is going on. Thousands of people are suffering. Millions are suffering. And millions and billions of dollars are spent only for destruction. Why? Two ego clashing. That's nothing else. Only the ego. The one leader over here, another leader over here, they're influencing their own people. The people are also jumping. Yes, let us go. And so many days we were going to the gym, now we are strong, let us go and fight. And when they're going to fight, either they're killing or being killed, things are going on. And the newspapers and the media is also happy, they are getting the information to give to us, and we are also happy. Sitting over here, sending all our old clothing to them and medicine and all that. What is going on? What is that? Go to the root and you will find only two persons clashing, their ego. They could sit in one place, they could talk, they could open up their mind. Every problem would be solved. But no, it will never happen. Why? the ego knows how to play. It will never allow. So, this is not the first time. Repetition is going on and on and on. First World War, Second World War, and people are telling, oh, so many years have passed, we are just sitting like this, let us have a Third World War. So they are thinking in that. But what is all this? This is very peculiar. Not that we are studying the scripture only for just reading, sitting in a very cozy place and studying that and going back and having some prasad and that's all. No, it should be applied. What is the application? That we should understand the day-to-day problem. So the Ramachandra, a very intelligent student, when the guru like Vasishtha, he is telling, oh Rama, kill your ego. He said, sir, it is okay. But, O Honorable Sir, you have instructed to abandon the ego, but the body and the life force rest on the support of the ego sense. When the root, the ego, is cut, then the tree, the body, will fall. As a wonderful question he is asking. And the Guru Vasishtha will be giving the reply. How it is possible to give up the ego and yet living? If I don't say I, then how can I go and introduce? So you have to apply for the passport and you go to the passport office and immigration office. Then they say, who are you? Sir, I am searching for that. Hey, take him to the lunatic asylum. So I am searching for, who am I? That is the search I am doing. Go to the lunatic, search over there. No passport, no visa, go. So like this, everywhere if I go, are you suffering? No, not me, I am not suffering. Oh doctor, it is you are suffering. Doctor will say, what is it? You have come to me. So I is necessary everywhere. Everywhere. In India, usually when we write letters, we always add the we. We are so thankful, we are so happy. When I come over here, I was drafting we. Then someone told me, you are happy, you are inviting. What is we? Have you taken any meeting and there you have taken the resolution, all your people? Then you can use the word. It is you only doing, so write I. So the I should be there everywhere. Without the I, we cannot survive. That is true. Ram is so perfect. And now, I have to read, I have to go, I have to cook, I have to eat. Everything depending on I. Then how can he say that without I, live? So this is a valid question. Hearing that question, with a smile on his face, as if to appreciate his young disciple, because all other people, they were convinced, yes. But the Ramachandra that's why it says, Pariprasnena sevaya. Pariprasna. When a guru is teaching something or a scripture is telling something, you have to use your brain, you have to use your judgmental the capacity and ask, but why this, why that? If it is like this, then the reaction may be, so that way only we can grow, otherwise not. Swami Vivekananda, young boy of 17, used to come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And when all the other people, well-established, educated people in the society, they are sitting at the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, whatever he is telling, they are all accepting it. This young boy now and then raising his hand, I have a question, I have a question. Other people, hey, are you mad? Asking question to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna? Whatever he says, you must accept. But Sri Ramakrishna said, no, 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 no. Allow him to ask the question. He should know it. You people listen, you nod, go out and forget. So the same thing going on, repeating, you never apply the teachings in your own life. But here is a boy who is ready to understand things so that he can imbibe those teachings in his own life. So, pariprasna, the question should be there, but properly, right question should be there. Otherwise, it is of no use. So, pariprasna, when the Guru said, "Oh Rama, you have to kill your ego because that is the root of all problems," the Rama said, "Without the ego, how can I survive? No one can survive. How it is possible?" And Guru was happy. So with a smiling face he said, "O Rama, renouncement of all notions is of two types. When I am not telling I or giving up the ego, I am renouncing. There are two types. First, based on knowledge, direct realization. When I realize that it is true, this is like this, then convinced. So I am completely convinced, I know what is this and what is that. So whatever the other people are telling or the scriptures are telling, Vedas or Bibles and all these scriptures are telling, I said, no, I know this is this. In the Veda also it says, if the Veda says the milk is black, don't accept it. So you have to understand, so that direct experience, that is the first thing. Second, based on contemplation, that means slowly understanding, judging, analyzing, then coming to the realization. First is direct realization. Again, I will give the example from the life of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna. This young boy came and Sri Ramakrishna told, "You see all these things that you see is nothing but the consciousness. So look at these, all the utensils that we're using for the puja, there is also consciousness. And the statue that you see, the stone statue of the goddess Kali, consciousness. These bricks and all the building that you see, consciousness." This young boy, he didn't say anything over there because the elderly person is telling something he was not ready to insert him. So he came, then he was sitting with another person who is to claim that I have read lot of scripture. So he sat with him, this Naren, young Naren, and said, "Look to this man. People say he is mad. It is true. Today he was telling me all these utensils that they are using for the puja are also the same consciousness as the goddess and the building and everything." And both of them, they were having a great laugh. Sri Ramakrishna came out from his room. He overheard that. And now, this is the time we must notice, Sri Ramakrishna was not having any clothings. Why? All pervading. Mother Kali, goddess Kali. So-called educated people don't like to look at the Mother Kali because she is not having the clothings. They don't understand the symbolism. All pervading. The bigger than that, how to cover that? That is the idea. Sri Ramakrishna this time came without clothing. His clothes that he was wearing, he was holding under his armpit, and he came and told, "Oh Naren, why you are laughing? What you are talking?" And touched him. He just touched him. 3 days and 3 nights, this young boy in Calcutta, he was going and knocking his head on the iron railing of the park. All our consciousness. A tram was coming. He was standing and looking. It is a consciousness. Rice he was lifting. He couldn't eat. This consciousness. I am consciousness. Everything is consciousness. So that was 3 days and 3 nights. That experience he had. Even then, he said, "I stumbled upon truth. It was not my own effort. My Guru touched me and gave me that. I must have to experience it through my own effort." And that is called Paurush. Paurush means the tremendous mental strength. So that Paurusha, ultimately, when he was a wandering monk, he was traveling with his brother disciple, another direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. They were climbing a hill in the Himalaya, and he became very thirsty and told, "Can you please fetch some water and bring some food? I am hungry and thirsty. Let me sit under this tree and you better go." We went to visit that place. Still it is there. That same village is there from where they collected some food. In India, if you go and stand before anyone and ask for some help, immediately they will give that. They always give help, the Swamis, the Giruva-clad people. And in the meantime, the Swami went and bathed in that river, still flowing there, and came and sat under the tree, meditated. And when his brother disciple came back with the food, and he said, "Oh, Ganges, Gangadhar," so Swamiji used to call him Ganga, Ganges. "Oh, Ganges, I have solved the life's problem." Then he himself realized everything is nothing but the same. He realized that by the touch of his Guru. He realized and he was convinced. And he said, "Yes, look at this, each and every one, the downtrodden, the illiterate, the oppressed, all are nothing but the god and goddesses. Calling them sinners? There's a great mistake if people are doing. They are the living gods and goddesses." That is the realization. That is the realization of the oneness. And how they were surviving, we will come to that slowly. Question is, if I kill my ego, how I will survive? After knowing that everything is nothing but the same consciousness, that I, which was the egoistic I, the boastful I, constantly beating his chest and telling this I, and getting attached to this body and the mind, that I goes away, and the bigger I comes, that I belong to everything. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, "Kacha ami, paka ami." This is a very wonderful way he mentioned. If you knew the Bengali, you could enjoy. Kacha means unripe I. That is the problem. But the I, the God, I, the disciple of God, I, the Son of God, the Messiah of God, whatever I am doing, I belong to that God. That is called Paka Ami, ripened ego. So Kacha Ami, Paka Ami. So we have to go to Paka Ami. We have to become like that. Hearing the words of the gunas or knowing from the scripture, when one discriminates between the objects and the enjoyer of the object, one becomes wise and give up ego. So how to give up the ego? Two ways. One, direct realization. Another, discriminating. Who am I? That is the wonderful, the question. And that all the time, the Vedantin, they will be seeking the reply of this question. Who am I? Am I this body? No, that cannot be. Because it's constantly changing. Mind? No, changing. Everything that I see all around, changing. But immediately it will flash. How can I compare the changes? There must be something static, something which is permanent, comparing with which I can understand things are changing. And that permanent thing is called Brahman or the Atman. Ego-free people are known as Jivan Muktas. They are living, and they are living with great joy. Each and every time, whatever is happening is a great joy for them. And Jivana Mukta, they are not swayed by the undesirable or desirable. Anything coming to them, they're happy. Not coming to them, happy. So they don't bother about anything. If you give them all respect, they're happy. If you don't give them respect, it's the same. I'm not unhappy at all. So this is a Jivan Mukta condition, and Shankaracharya, he always said, one should strive for that. After the death, if we are free, that is a one condition. Then we can, after the death we are free and it's okay. Mukti, Nirvana, that is all with Buddhists and the Hindus, they always talk about that. And the Semitic religion always talk about the going to the heaven after death. So do good work and wait for the call. When the final call will come, go in a proper dress. That's why after they die, they put them proper dress in the coffin, so that at that time they should go in a very nice way. In this country, have you noticed? All the dead bodies they keep in so nicely. In our country, dead bodies are dead bodies, so they don't. And have you ever seen in our country they are applying the cosmetics and all that on the dead body? No. But here they do. Why? They believe the same person will go to the God. At that time, he should be properly dressed to be presented over there. And he will be there in the heaven if he has done good work and all this. So each and every one is thinking in the same way. We like to go somewhere where is constant joy, constant happiness, and no misery, no suffering. So we have imagined that Swarga, the heaven, and we talk about that, and we are trying to do that. So we are controlling all our passions, all our the thoughts. Why? Oh, no. If I do all these things, then I will go to hell, and that is a very terrible place. I have heard. I like to go to the heaven. I should help people. I should always thoughts, good things. So that way, they constantly. Vedanta says, that's okay. But why don't you try yourself, understanding clearly? There will be no ambiguity. Don't believe and go. Understand and go. Realize and then go. And when you realize in this very life, you are always happy. Constantly you are happy. They live in this world, behave like other people, but in all aspect, inwardly, completely untouched by the world. Apparently, they are all there. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he never could touch the coins and money, because that is the main problem. He will never touch it. But at the same time, when he is going to visit somebody's house, the tradition is that when you are inviting a holy person, he is not earning. So how he will pay the transportation that when he is going there, the cost of the fare, you have to pay him. You have to feed him. You have to give some gift also. In exchange, he will give you the guidance of the spiritual life. When Sri Ramakrishna went over there to somebody's house, the young people, they were not at all noticing, and they were not ready to pay for his the passage money, the carriage that he hired. So he was waiting over there, and sometimes he was asking his followers, hey, why they are not giving me money? Ask them that I need some 1 or 2 rupees, that like that we have to give. Then they told, no, we don't need that money, we can go. No. Why not? They have invited me, they should pay. So after reading this, you may think, oh, look at this man. You people talk him as a god? But look at this, how he is behaving. And not only that, if he goes to some other place and he will suggest, these are the ingredients you must use to cook my food. I love this food. After reading all this, if you don't understand what is true religion, you may misunderstand Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna has nothing to do with that. He told, and then immediately he was withdrawn and went into samadhi. So that is the exact way we have to understand. He is living, behaving just like any other person, but at the same time, inwardly not at all attached to this. So that is, one of our Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, Vivekananda, he was an engineer. He actually constructed the Belur Math temple, you know, the wonderful architecture. The Vivekanandaji has an habit. If anybody going with a pen, he'll say, hey, what is that pen? Can you give it to me? He will keep that pen. Now, when you are reading in his biography that he was all the time, and if you like to impress him, you have to purchase a good pen and go, and he'll be very happy. Swamiji, please bless me. Swamiji, please do this. He'll be very happy. Well, he has brought the pen. He's a good person. So all these things are there, but at the same time, this Vivekanandaji, when he used to go, he used to live in Allahabad, now the Prayag. When he used to go to that confluence, he used to see every day the mother Ganga, she is leading the path. Vivekanandaji used to follow her. The Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati, the confluence of the three. And that young little girl who used to go dancing in front of him will be having his hair in three. What is it called that? And that is the way she'll be having this. Her hair tied in three. Sometimes the girls, they do mostly two. She used to have the three. And Vivekanandaji used to notice that and to say, Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati, the confluence, she is going. That was Vivekanandaji. But at the same time, when you go to meet, Swamiji, I have come to see you. He will open the window from the first floor. You have seen me, go away. Why? Because if he comes, you have to feed him and to talk to him. He never like that. You have seen me, go away. Like that he will be. So apparently, if you look at these people, they are very peculiar. Why they should behave like that? But inwardly, completely unattached. So he is telling, O Rama, live in this world having firmly rejected all limitation. Inwardly be free from all desires and hope, but outwardly do what has to be done. Outwardly do what has to be done. That is the way we have to learn. He said, O Rama, this world is essentially unreal, and it is of the nature of a juggler's trick. O Rama, be firmly established in egolessness and remain unpolluted like the space. He is giving an example of the space. When you look at the sky, we see so many dust are flowing with the wind. The space has nothing to do with anything. It is just above. So similarly, when we are living in this world and having all these things, be with them. Sometimes some people, they're coming with the problem, we are listening to them, and then if it is possible, connecting some people to solve the problem. All things are going on in that way. But at the same time, inwardly, no connection. This condition of mind is known as Swarupa Sthiti. Swarupa Sthiti, established in one's own self. Swarupa. Swa means his own. Rupa, the real nature. The real nature is what? Real nature is joy. Real nature is completely free from all this. So Swarupa Sthiti, he is established or residing in that real nature. Chapter 10, 9th verse, the Guru Vasishtha is teaching. Prasanta sarva sankalpo ya shilabat avasthiti jagrat nidra vinirmukta sa sarupa sthiti para. Chapter 10, the verse 9, it says like this, Prashanta, calm, sarva sankalpo, because he has given up all desire. Sankalpa means desire. When you do the puja, particularly Kali Puja, Durga Puja, big puja, the first thing the priest will ask, in whose name there should be sankalpa, the one who is organizing the puja, but that he will be or she will be telling, it is in the name of my father, name of my mother, or in my name, like that, sankalpa. The sankalpa that I want the blessings of God, I want this problem should be solved. That is called sankalpa. So here, sankalpa means desire. All sankalpa, all desires are calm. The prasanta, sarva sankalpa. It is like shilavat avasthiti. Shila means the stone. So how they are giving the example. Shila, the stone has nothing to do with it. If you kick the stone, it will go over there. Throw the stone, it will be there. It's just like that. Be like that. Without anything. But at the same time, Jagrat, Nidra, Binir, Mukta. And you should be free from the waking and sleeping and dream stages. That means all these three stages you should overcome. Sa Sarupa Sthiti Para. Para, you know this in Sanskrit means highest. Para, highest, apara, lower. So para. So Sa Sarupa Sthiti. That is called one who is surviving, living in his own self. Who am I? I am that supreme being, the consciousness. How it is possible in this body? Because my mind is completely free from ego. The moment I am detached from the ego, I, in this body, am the supreme being. So that behaves like a stone. The stone, apparently it is there, but it is also not there. Wherever you keep, it will be there. So this is the way to the stone, it is a different way he has used. The Sarupa Sthiti, or the establishment in one's own self, is also known as Purusha Khyati. It is Purusha Khyati in the yoga scripture. Why I am mentioning? Because some of the terminologies that used in different scripture, that confuses us. The same idea. What is that idea? The highest idea, the goal is to detach ourselves from our lower ego. The lower ego, which is constantly provoking us to understand or to behave, connecting this body and mind. But this body is not permanent. Before this body, I was there. After this body, I will be there. This body is a temporary journey. Just I have taken this, I am using it, afterwards I will sell it. Like when they come as a student over here, they all purchase very cheap type of car. And then somehow 2 doors are there and that's okay. So they will be using that car. Slowly after that, they get a good job, they will sell that car or throw that car, they will purchase a good car. And then same person is driving that car. When he is well established, better car. So like this it goes. Same way, we are also utilizing this body as a vehicle. And this body is okay, and now I don't like this body, it has become old, and this pain, that problem, I throw it and go and get into another body. I survive, I am continuing. So if I put this finger on this body and say, this is me, it is a mistake. And just because I am by mistake thinking this is my only existence, and obviously according to that I like to grab everything, that is called egoistic way of surviving. And that creates problem for the person and also all around people who are there. And if he is a powerful person, is the leader of a country, the suffering for all people. So this is the way we have to understand. And then what is that ego? I am consciousness. I am traveling from different bodies. The moment I understand that, look at the joy. I am deathless. I am eternal. I don't bother about, oh, this body I enjoyed, it's okay. Now I have to go somewhere else. Majority of the people, they were born in the villages, and humble. They used to go to the ordinary school, then afterwards to the better school in the city, then the university, then go to the best college, best university, and wherever it is in the universe, they will go. That way, they slowly they are going on. Are they really cry for that village? Oh, it was so wonderful, used to be. Sometimes they feel like that village was all right. But if you ask them, oh, is it? Then go back into the village life. They won't go. No, sometimes we will go, but not permanently. Why? We always try to go to the better thing, better places. And that is the reason we are trying to go to a better condition. What is that? Eternally joy. We want joy, we want happiness. And what is that happiness? Understanding. What is that understanding? I am eternal. This body and mind, they are temporary. I am utilizing it. I like this way. Now, as it's become old, I have used it for a long time, I will just throw it and go. And that is called the true courage. Never fear for death. In the yoga, our Patanjali Yoga Darshan, they say there are 5 obstacles for realizing the truth. One is the fear of death. Nidra, asmita and all that. One is the fear of death. Why fear of death? Misunderstanding. I was telling this the other day. In my beginning, in the Andaman, it was a very poor place. So I went to collect some fund. So I used to go to different people's houses for the collection. So someone took me to somebody's house. The moment I entered, he said, oh, Swamiji has come, please Swamiji come and sit. And he said, he called his daughter, can you please bring that file? His daughter brought a big heavy file. Then he opened the first page. I was thinking that he is going to give a big psalm. Instead, he started telling, see, in 19 so and so, I was first sick, and this is the doctor treated. And it went on for an hour or so. Doctor, medicine. I was confused. Why I have come here? So then I told him, it's okay, so I'm so sorry that he was suffering so much. I pray to God, I don't need any donation. I'm going away. Just you need not to give anything. So this is the way people are surviving. Is this life? It is not. So this we have to understand. One day I will die. But I like to die in a proper, better way. That's all. Why should all the time I have to cry for, oh the date. The date is inevitable. No one will survive. Not even the very strong person. No one. All will die. So why to? The moment you understand that, your fear, that fear will go away. And when the death is coming, I am physically not, all these pains are there. Mentally I am free. When I am leaving this body, automatically, I lived inside this body for such a long time. And when the mind is going out, they feel like giving, they will be crying, as we usually do. When we leave our old house, we always look back at the house and cry, oh, like the old body I am leaving. But the sadhus are not supposed to, even they are very happy. I am going for a new place. Good. So they will go. And the moment you are free from the death, you are free from suffering. So that is the only thing. So why we are studying the scripture? Every week we are assembling here and talking about the scripture, and so many places, so many varieties of discourses are going on. Different religion, different language, different culture, different way. What is the ultimate goal? Happiness. Sometimes we call it as heaven, and sometimes these or sometimes that, but happiness is possible when we understand this, I am not this, that's all. So he says, it is Swarupa Sthiti, the one word they have used over here by Guru Vasishtha. Swarupa Sthiti. You know the Swarupa means self, Sthiti residing and that. And in the Yoga Sutra, Yoga scripture, they call it Purusha Khyate. The same thing, they are using the word Purusha Khyate. I don't know why. they could use the same word, it would have been easy for us. But then he will say Purusha Khyata, the same idea, same thing. Again, it has been termed as Paravairagya, the highest renunciation. So, Swarupa Sthiti, Purusha Khyate, Paravairagya. Para means higher. Vairagya, renunciation, the highest renunciation. What is that highest renunciation? Giving up the ego. That's the highest renunciation. And finally, Shankaracharya says, Jivana Mukti. He said, no, it is okay, but you should perform that in this life itself. Enjoy that in this life itself. That is good. The one lady was telling, after my death, the money will go to you, then you should give it to him. I told, why don't you give it now? You do not to give right now, only you just tell them, after my death you will give the money, but you give it. Then you enjoy, then they will be so happy. When you are visiting them, they will send you the car to receive you, or the great donor is coming. We always do that. If it is a big amount, no problem. So this way you enjoy that. Why after your death? And then if I forget, as a ghost you will come in my dream and, hey, you have not done that. That will be my problem, your problem. It is better you do now. So do now, here and now. Iha chet abedit ata satyamasti, nachet iha abedit mahati vinasti. In the Upanishad it says, here and now you should realize. Iha chet abedit ata satyamasti. This is the wonderful. When you sit for meditation, slowly withdraw your mind, the sound and the thought and all this, and the backache and the knees paining, forget all this. And you go into that wonderful condition where only joy and nothing else. You don't hear anything, you don't listen anything, you are not thinking anything, you are not seeing anything. You are in that great condition of joy. 1 or 2 minutes, you will feel, oh, that is wonderful. And now these great souls, they were in that condition all through, all the time. People are coming to them, they are talking, and they are also listening, trying to help them whatever in better way, but at the same time completely detached. So that is called Jivana Mukta Avastha. And what is bondage? Desire. Now, this is a very simple way we can understand. The bondage, they always say, Baddha, Baddha, Baddha. What is that Baddha? What is our bondage is? Desire only. If I don't have the desire, there is no problem at all. If someone wants to give something, I don't like to take that, no problem. But if I am eager to get that, immediately my thought will go, oh, he is not giving, or she promised he is not giving. Nothing like that. If he gives, okay. If he is not giving, okay, no problem. So by that way, if you are making constantly thinking in that way, there is no bondage. So bondage equal to desire. Desire for many things. And in the, always the Hindus, they will always list up what are the desire. Lokaishana, Putraishana, Vittaishana, like that they will say. The Lokaishana, the people should appreciate me. That is the Aishana. Aishana means desire. Putraishana, family, progeny. All my family should be well established. And for that I should do these, that. Some people, they always do like that. And Lokaishana, Putra, Vittaishana. Money, 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 we want, that way they go on. There's nothing wrong, but that is Aishana, that is the Vasana. Those who are properly doing it, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, someone went and said, can I earn extra money? Sri Ramakrishna said, well, why not? Surely. If you have the capacity in a proper way, you must earn, utilizing your capacity, but don't get attached to that. Use that for the betterment of others. Then things will be completely different. So this is the way, is a bondage. And what is the liberation? Without desire. The bondage and liberation, we are bound, we are papi, we are sinners, all the people they are going on telling, what is the bondage? Desire. And when there is no desire, you are free. This much only, just switching this side and that side. That much. And that, the desire is the root of suffering. And where does it stay? That they are telling, where from it comes. Where is the desire? In the mind. From the desire comes? In the mind it is. Desire is not in the body. Desire in the mind only. First the thought will come. And the thought will slowly generate. Then, as if in a very democratic way it goes, then it will go and convince the mind. The mind, if you are doing it, it is good. Then the mind will summon the other people, like the eye, the nose, the ear, and hand, all this. So go and see if it is good. Yes. So like that it will all collect information. Then they will send out their soldiers, the hand, the feet, and all the body will go. The body is the last. They don't decide. So they're only the last thing they will go do. But it is the mind. So what is this mind? What is the condition of mind? See, again, it is really very appreciating our ancestors. They analyze the condition of mind. At different time, different type of conditions are there in the mind. One is shipta. Shipta, the Sanskrit word, means when the mind do not like to accept any spiritual values. That is shipta. When they come and listen to, sometimes the families they come, maybe that the lady, she wants to come and attend the prayer, Khandana Bhavabandhana. The husband is so restless. What is this song is going on? We have to go over there. We have booked the Uber. We have to go to the park and so many things. He can't. He's not ready to listen even for a minute with that. There's a shipta, always enjoying the worldly things. If you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you will find a wonderful description Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving. And anything that is worldly, then their dancing is going on, he will go and stand. For the whole night they will be there, enjoying those dancing. What is that? Generally jumping. They are very happy. They are also jumping and drinking. So they are so happy. Day after day they are enjoying that. Anything good they don't like at all. What is the condition of the mind of that person? Our scripture will say, shipta. Then it is mudha. Mudha means the mind, when the mind do not like to listen about the scriptural values, engaged in enjoying worldly objects. Some people will come, they will sit, and they will be thinking something else. They don't like to take the spiritual values. They are religious people. They will go to the temple, they will go to the holy places, they will also offer the puja, the thali and all that, and they are all sitting and gossiping. The moment you take someone to give some discourse, they will get up and go. They are not ready to listen. And if they are listening, they will be going on whispering, they will be going on chatting or watching. They don't like to listen to that holy talks. It is not their fault, it is the mental condition. So why the people are different? Apparently all are same, but different because of the mental condition. One is shipta, another is mudha, another is vikshipta. It is like a tennis ball. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad. Majority of us in this condition, vikshipta. So sometimes we come and we sit. Obviously, I have noticed it. So years together, some of our devotees, they are coming and sitting and listening and then pondering and trying to help us. That at the same time, some other things are also there. So this is called vikshipta condition of the mind. From here you can try and can go to ekagra. Ekagra means one-pointed. Sometimes it is breaking, but at the same time you can put your mind in one point. That is called ekagra. Shipta and Mudha we are not. They are different type of people. When this type of people they used to come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he used to say, sprinkle Ganga water. When they will be coming and standing and talking, when they leave, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, give Ganga water over there, because the mind is so much constantly thinking about the body. So let them go away. It is all, if someone coming, suppose someone is a good singer comes, and in his, if you go near to him or her, you also think about the song, oh, you sang in it. As a cinema artist, as a movie, the actor, actresses, you think in that way. If some politician comes, you think in that way. How? Because he is influencing you. His presence is influencing you. The same way, if you are influenced by the holy thoughts, by the God, by the divine, that is the condition is called Vikshipta. And most of us in the Vikshipta condition is a good condition. From here we have to strive to become ekagra. The life is short. So we should not now, so many, one lady came and she loves to read books. And I told, enough, stop reading books now. Now you are sufficiently aged. Whatever you have read, sufficient. You have heard, sufficient. How long you will go on reading books? What the books are telling? God is existing and everything else are transitory. That is the only thing. So we need not to read whole library. We read because we have to give the talk, that's why. Otherwise, why should you unnecessarily read? So rather practice meditation. You have to give talk and naturally in different subjects, so you need some different books. That is a different. But only thing, God is the only existence and all else are transitory. All pages, everywhere, every scripture will say this. Okay, now my condition, I love to listen to the holy talks. I love to listen to the divine songs. I love to go to the holy places. That means my mind, part of the mind is good. Part of the mind, of course, want these, that, it is also necessary for the survival. Now I have to slowly develop the percentage of the goodness and reducing the percentage of worldly thoughts. That is the main. And one time will come when you will sit constantly remembering God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, whenever you are little free, close your eyes and try to see the God is residing within your heart. Suppose you love Goddess Kali in Dakshineshwar. Most of the Bengalis, they love Goddess Kali. So they will be closing their eyes and they will imagine the Goddess Kali is sitting inside. Just imagine. Or the Krishna, or the Rama, or the Ganesha, or the Durga. Now and then, closing your eyes, trying to see within my heart, the God is sitting over there. That's all. So you are increasing the percentage, the time of remembering God and living with God. So that is called the Vikshipta condition, and then we are improving to ekagra. And the time will come when you will meditate, you will see only that big. Sometimes some of the devotees, they are trying very hard. I really feel, I don't express when they talk to me over phone and say, today I saw for 10 long minutes only Sri Ramakrishna. I couldn't think of anything else. The few years constantly she is trying. Every day 10,000 to 12,000 japa she is doing. So obviously mind is becoming pure. And it is true. And her ordinary lady, she doesn't know anything of the scripture, but her experiences proving it is truth. From the Vikshipta, ekagra, she is entering into the ekagra condition. And then time will come that is called nirodha. Nirodha means completely tranquil. There will be no other thing. Sri Rama's question was, how one can survive without ego sense or I sense. The Guru Vasishtha is giving another example. We will just read, and in the next day we will discuss about it. Jadatam varjayitva ekam shilaya hridayam jayat amanaskam mahabaho tanmayo bhava sarvada. The same he says, O hero, Mahabaho means strong, the hands, a hero. Live in the world like a rock, but without his inertness. The rock is inert, but you should live like that. Nothing can touch your mind. Don't get involved in anything. Be with all, but don't get involved with all this. Be active, perform everything minutely, but without attachment, by being absorbed in your inner self, and you can completely overcome this. Now, our question is Guru asking to become like a robot? That is the question. So we will discuss this in our next discourse on the next Sunday. Thank you, friends. Is there any? Yeah. Okay, she knows. Please.
My question is, you were talking about the ego. Give up the ego, and then we said you should have two, like when you're practical, you have to practical when you're in the world, and then inside you give up the ego. And my question is there a speech and ego? Is there a relationship as the person matures? Is the speech of the person becomes maturity in speech also? Emotional maturity?
Of course. Because when we are children, we get attached to everything. So when the childhood friends, we were so close. Then when you grow slowly, that also goes away. So like that, when we are matured by age and experience, we can understand that this goes away, it is not that much. We behave nicely, the neighbor, children's friends, they are coming and mixing with our children. We know that after some time when they will grow up, all they will go here and there, they will all go away. But they don't understand. The children that don't, but we don't. We understand that. Why? We understand because of our, as you call, maturity. The same maturity when comes ultimately. So there are three conditions. I will just mention, I won't disclose, discuss on that. One is paramarthika condition, and that is the absolute unchanging condition. Paramarthika, that's a Sanskrit word, paramarthika. Another is pratibhashika, illusory condition. And third is vyavaharika. Vyavaharika means empirical. Day to day we are doing that. So we know that it is ultimately not. But at the same time, in the vyavaharika, in the practical, we have to behave in a totally different way without getting attached. Suppose an example. A doctor, he knows. At the same time, he practiced meditation, he practiced spirituality, he listened to the Vedantic talks. The doctor knows ultimately this death is there. This body will not survive. But whenever any patient is going, if the doctor gives talk like this, oh, you have come, pay my fees, but know it for sure, someday you are going to die, who will go to visit him? So obviously, the doctor will say, that, no, don't worry, we are going to help you, you'll be all right. So that is called empirical or vyavaharika. Here that question, our ego, we know things are temporary, it won't stay, it won't last. So we should not get too much attached to this, that's all, nothing else.
Well, one question here. Sadhika is asking how to go beyond our mind.
Oh, that is a good question. The mind means the thought, and going beyond the mind means stealing the thought. Don't allow any thought to disturb your mind. It is so easy to say, it takes 1 second to say, but years and years practice is so difficult, because it is not the first time. So many lives we have lived. Maybe we were birds, maybe we were animals, maybe so many lives we have passed. Now we are human being. But the impression on the mind is stalled there a little bit. And we have to go beyond this. Only thing I can say, practice, practice and practice. And it will surely make us successful, give us success. So thank you, friends. Any other question? No. That's okay. Huh?
Swamiji, so as you said, just practice. So within practice, while practicing, when you hurt others' feelings, so what happens then? How do you fix that? Once that mistake is done, being emotion or being, weak with your mind, how do you control that?
Mm-hmm.
Your mind to know what is right with emotion.
So this is the same question. Just suppose somebody is suffering, he is coming and narrating that suffering to you. And shall we be like, again and again the Guru is talking about the stone and stone. Shall we be like the stone? No. Not like that. He is not mentioning that. He is telling, as the stone, apparently it is there, but you should be untouched. That is the idea. As the example he is using, because there was not much other things, so he used the stone. But his example is this, that you should know actually this is not touching your mind. But at the same time, you should feel, my father is sick, her father is sick. My father, when he was sick, I felt so much. Naturally, for her also. So you must be very, very human to help and support mentally at that time. You must do that. When Swami Vivekananda, this great sannyasi, when he heard that one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, a householder disciple, he was not a monk, he passed away. He started crying like a boy. Then other people said, hey, you are a sannyasi, why you are crying on death? Then he said, do you think that become a sannyasi I have completely destroyed my feeling? We lived with him so many years together, we grew up together. Can't I feel for him? But at the same time, he knew it is temporary, like that. Sometimes the people, they will be calling us, Swamiji, please pray for my father. He is 87 years and these are the problems. He is in the ICU. We really pray. I try to give the comfort. Of course, it is 87 is a sufficiently matured age. But we never say, hey, 87 is okay, let him go. No, that is not. No. Now, that will be terrible. One should not. We have to feel through his or her mind as they are feeling. And that is spirituality. Love for every being. Truly feeling. But at the same time, this is the technique. At the same time, you know this is temporary. As the mothers, they always cajole the children and give them the comfort. Oh, the kitty has lost and what will happen? And oh yes, we will find the kitty. And then you purchase another kitty and then present to him, somehow passive. But if you say, it is nothing, it's all street dogs, let it go. No, you are hurting the... So these two things we have to wonderfully balance. Knowing the truth, at the same time behaving very perfectly without hurting anyone. So, okay then, let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.